Sorry. Where the presentation that we had in Tarija was about digital citizenship and online safety. Actually, this presentation talks a little about how secure you have to be your participation when you're using the web, when you're using the internet. Okay? And the first example that I want to give you is like we all have cars, we all have a bicycle, a motorcycle, we have a bed, we have a TV, we have something in our houses and stuff. So it's like we always want to keep those things safe. It's the same and even more. We have to be even more careful if we talk about our online safety. Why? Because as Dennis is going to say, as Gabby is going to say, Brian is going to say, like each of us, like, you are going to leave your print here, okay? The first thing that we had, it was like this QR code. So they were able like to just to scan it and to be like to have a presentation on their phones. Okay, so if you want to do it, you can do it, and you can send your questions as well or your comments to if you copy just this link. Okay, so it was something that we were able to do it. And you go to the next one. What do you understand by digital citizenship and online safety? Please, Pamela. Okay, digital? Sorry, Tabitha? It's something related to technology. What do you think that it?
Yeah, it's something that I don't like that much.
You don't like to connect
I don't like
your family that is living abroad, for example? You don't like to share pictures of you having fun?
Or your baby.
Just like your baby, or your baby. Or you don't like to read about, you don't like to receive emails.
I get stressed whenever I use computers.
So it is something about that, okay? Maybe you have something to say about this? What do you think it is? But what is digital citizenship and online safety?
Maybe to use any website.
Okay, perfect.
That would be safe for you.
Okay, perfect. Very. Sam, can you tell me just what is legal citizenship?
Oh, well, I have no idea. Since I'm the enemy of technology like that.
No, just citizenship.
Well, I think it is to be a citizen.
To be part of a city, to be part of a community, okay? So digital citizenship is to be part of an online community, okay? To be part of the online community. And online safety talks about how safe, how secure you have to be when you're doing this kind of stuff, okay? And these are the learning objectives that we have. Please, Buddy, can you read the first one?
Benefits of teaching your students online safety skills.
No, I think it's going to help us.
Learn how you can help your students become good digital citizens.
Benefits of teaching your students online safety skills. We have the different skills that students should be learning. And there are how you can help your students become good digital citizens. Okay? These are the two learning objectives that I am going to have. These are the different skills that we have. They are the same there. It's like be strong, be internet man, internet can be internet alert, and thank you. Okay. Teach students about the internet safety and privacy. Secure your secrets. This was my part. Okay. Secure your secrets. Do you have secrets, people?
Yes.
Yes? Do you have any secrets? Yes,
I don't have any secrets.
You don't have any secrets? No. Can I have your password for your WhatsApp? Your Facebook account?
I don't have any, but
You don't have Facebook?
You have
Okay, please. I'm gonna change my question. Can I have the pin of your debit card?
my debit card.
Yes, or you don't have it?
I don't have
Can I have the pin, please?
But I will give you.
So it's like, security secrets, we're going to talk about passwords. Okay? I Guys, I'm going to go just for this example with you because we are all CBA teachers. You're working at CBA since
1997.
Okay, and since when you start uploading the grades to the system?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Let's say 10 years that you have been uploading your grades to the system?
No.
9 years, let's say 9 years. What was your password? What was your ID user and your password 9 years ago? The same as it now?
Yes.
How many people have been working at CBA during this whole time? Do you think they know the user and the password? Do you think that they can use that against us? Do you think they can give this information to students and they can change practically all the grades from a teacher? Pretty much. And that is just to give us an example of an institution. Imagine what they can do with your personal life. In my cell phone, I'm not a very digital person, but in my cell phone I have an application for the bank, for example. If somebody steals my cell phone, they can do whatever they want with my money. Put the password again in the application. Okay? So it's something that we have to be aware of. And I think now even more with students. Why? Because social media is like growing a lot, and students just think that they can share whatever they want. So this is the part that I was going to talk about. In my part, I have my 3 learning objectives. Chris, can you help me with the first, please?
Sure. Understand what makes the password strong, and doing things to help your students create strong passwords that are easy to remember.
Okay, so we have to be strong. So you need a strong password. Okay, no.
You mean like a combination of
Yes, so we're going to be talking about that.
What do you mean by a strong password?
A strong password, a secure password. So that is not easy.
Numbers.
Easy.
Numbers.
And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about that. What is number 2, please, architect?
Learn what 2 factors of authentication is and how it protects online accounts.
Do you know what is a 2-factor authentication? We're going to be talking about that as well. And finally, 3, please.
Corporate content, tools, and settings that can help your students protect their online accounts against hackers and other websites.
This is something that maybe a lot of us don't know, but it's like you have a small part on the corner of all applications, all different social media works, and all different programs, and it's called settings. And it's like you can go there and you can change the language, and you can change like different stuff, and you can change different stuff in order to secure your accounts. A little about that as well. Questions to consider: how many times a day do your students go online? Say a number. They live online. Very good. Hey, sorry. How frequently do they connect with friends via email, chat, or social media? Email? Not so much. Chat? All the time. Even us, right? Social media? Yes, a lot. How many accounts does a typical internet user have? Accounts, like Facebook accounts, WhatsApp accounts, Twitter, Spotify, Netflix.
At least 2.
Let's say more than 10 some people. Do you know, sorry, do your students know how to protect their accounts?
I'm sure that some more than
Okay, what do they use? They use the pattern, all of them. The pattern, that is how to protect their cell phones, not their accounts. Okay? And that is, you don't have what? Okay. How would you feel? Can you read the last question, please, for me?
How would you say that access to one or more of their accounts?
How would you feel if you lost access to your account?
Grace. Yeah, exactly.
I have a student like Chris, very nice. I think she trusts everybody, and she's very nice person. Actually, she's the best student in my class. She got like 100 of the students 2 or 3 times already. One day she was crying next to my class. She was crying like really bad. What happened to her? Somebody took her Facebook account. They hacked their Facebook account, and they started like posting messages like she was gay, she was in love with one of her classmates, and that kind of stuff. Because it was funny for me, but it was a nightmare for her, you know. And she said, "Why me, teacher? I am a good person with everybody. Why me?" So it can happen. Okay, so it can happen. So and it can happen to anybody. So we have to be aware of this. Okay, and depending on the person, it can affect like really bad to this person. Really bad to this person. Teach your students about safety and privacy. And we have this small video here that Google provides us, and it's part of the it's part of the course that you can take, that Dennis is going to talk to you about. You are good, teacher.
People sometimes think of security as a technical issue, and it can be, but a big part of online safety involves simple, smart practices like selecting good passwords. Think of your password like the code to a vault where you keep your most valuable documents and information. Make sure your password is strong and don't share it with others. To create a strong password, use a mix of lower and uppercase letters, numbers, and symbols, and make it between 8 and 9 characters long. Using any identifiable information such as your name, address, phone number, or personal information that is easy to guess, like your pet's name, name of your school, your favorite team, etc. Password for each of your important accounts, like your email, social network, and online banking accounts. Reusing passwords is risky. If someone figures out the password for one of your accounts, it's possible they could get access to your personal information or other online services that you use. Create a different password for each account that meets all of this criteria and that's easy to remember. The answer is simple. You can create a passphrase. To create a passphrase, first think of a sentence that's easy for you to remember. For example, I met Alex in San Francisco in 2011. Now take the first letter of each word in the sentence and use it to create your passphrase. Where possible, convert words into symbols to make your passphrase stronger. There you have it. You can add an extra layer of security by enabling two-factor authentication. The security process where logging into a service requires 2 steps. For instance, you could have to enter your password as usual, followed by a code that was texted to your phone. Two-factor authentication protects your account with something that you know, your password, and something that you have, your cell phone. This means that if someone steals or guesses your password, they still can't sign into your account because they don't have your phone. Now you know how to sign in safely into your account, but it's equally important to know when to log out. Public or shared computer, such as a computer at a library, internet cafe, or even a friend's house, sign out of your account before leaving the computer. The person who uses the computer after you may have access to your account. Great, now let's talk about privacy and security settings. Forgetting your password or getting locked out of your account can be a frustrating experience. No one wants to lose access to their emails, documents, or photos. Back into your account quickly and easily, it's important to set up password recovery options. Most online services will give you the option of adding a recovery phone number or email address to your account. This way, you can receive a numeric code or link to reset your password and regain access to your account. It's important to set up your recovery options before this happens. Take some time to explore other privacy and security settings on the online services that you use. Change your password if you suspect unusual activity in your account, and become familiar with the privacy policy, which will tell you what information about you is collected and stored and for what purposes. When using social networks, make sure to review the privacy and security settings to decide what information is visible in your profile, who can view your posts, photos, videos, or other content that you share. Now you know how to take care of your personal safety and your account when you're online.
And actually, in the video, we have information about the questions that I was reading before. And actually, I was Chris. Hi.
Sorry.
And you have to leave? You don't want to answer my question? Is your ticket out? No? No, don't worry. So actually, you have a question that you have answered the question that Christina had. Like, passwords are very difficult to remember. You know. Well, you have a tip there, and you say like how you can remember your password at least password phrase. Of course, it doesn't have to be something that you saw in the video. It can be something more simple, but it's going to be difficult for somebody to say. Okay, to remember it's easy for us because you can say yo amo mi perro, and you can say the first letter for it. Or you can say like vivo el barrio ferroviario. Don't remember what phrases, please. Like that. This was one of the activities that we had, and it's how to build a great password. And actually, we were talking about like, do you know the passwords of your accounts?
Yes.
Yes. All of you. What about the Google one? The one that you use with Android phones? Do you know your password for your Google account?
It's the same.
So it's the same for everybody. Actually, it's nice that you know it because there are a lot of people that don't know. And I don't know if and I am working with two people from Brazil right now, and we are having online classes like on Wednesdays. And guys, they didn't even know what was their email that we use in order to start using the phones because all Android phones, you know. So my first two classes was about that, about recovering their passwords and trying to fix them and stuff. So it's like it's something that we should know. Come on, my mom is 64; she pays her bills with the computer. You know? I think we should be doing and we should be involved in this. Actually, the activity that we have. No, I hate banks. So I don't know. You start going to the bank this year. No, a lot of accounts to pay. It's nice. It's always nice. You know, it's always nice.
I experienced it kind of with passwords with some people that pay for with their visa because they do need an email account, you know, for receiving all the notifications, but they have to use their passwords. And many people didn't know their password. But yeah, because since now we have the possibility of having it directly, you know, like the machine to remember it, so they just click there and that's it. But they can't do that in my machine, for example. So there was some phrase. We had to create one. We had to create another.
And it happens, you know. And the idea about all this presentation, the idea about our topic, it was like we have to create these functions in students, you know. Like it's not too much task because I think we are grown-ups, so we know how to take care of our stuff. And we try to use this. Okay, something that I said in Tariqa seminar is like, if we are not different from students, like we are not going to do anything, you know? And if we're learning this, the nice thing is to start using this. For example, me, I used to have exactly the same password for all my accounts. So I always remember it, but since I did this with Dennis, I start changing many of them. Okay, I start changing many of them. I activate my what was the name? My second my authentication So it's like when you start using a computer, you're going to receive a message in your cell phone saying that somebody's trying to use your account, and you just can put yes or no and stuff. So it is very nice, you know. It is very nice. This was an activity that we have about how to build and password. So it was like you have to be together in groups. Let's do it very fast because we are tired and it's easy. You know, easy. But let's do it very fast. Groups of 4 people, please. Yes, or groups of 5 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, Guys, what you have to do is this. Guidelines for creating strong passwords. Strong passwords are based on descriptive sentence, and that's easy for you to remember and difficult for someone to guess. That is the idea, of course. Moderate passwords are passwords that are strong and not easy to guess, but could be guessed by someone who knows. Weak passwords commonly use personal information, are easy to crack, and can be guessed by someone who knows you, like our ID card number, right? Yes. Yeah. So please, what you have to do is you have to create a strong password. Simple as that. Okay? On a piece of paper, please, if you have a
You have it. Yes.
Okay, guys. Create a phrase password. Okay, create a phrase password, and then you are going to show it.
I wrote one website but that's it Excel.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, please, Raquelita, si quita para start. All of you have. Raquel, is going to share the password with us. Please, guys, can you pay attention to Raquel?
Okay, my password is LIAY numeral KIS.
Okay, can you tell us the phrase that you have for
The
it?
phrase is, life is at your toes, keep it smiling.
Nice.
Can you remember that, to be honest?
I do.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's remarkable.
I use this phrase for a long time.
But that's the phrase for your WhatsApp.
So you have to be aware of this. Like, for example, here you're sharing and you're saying that it's something that you also remember. So it doesn't work anymore.
Yes, but I can change the app by,
Yes. Yes. Capital letters. What about the group? What about Pamela group? Okay, and what is the phrase?
My mother's started has been, and we are 4 girls in one house, so we put that.
You didn't care about this.
4 and 1. 4.
Okay, very good. What about you guys? Pay attention, please.
Bobby has just 5 characters.
He didn't mention anything about.
You need 8, right?
You were paying attention to the video. You have how many characters? 8, very good. No, it's okay, don't worry.
It was what time you see it? It was WTII and a question mark, but we changed the E's by 1 and 5.
Okay, very good. What do you think? What do you think? A strong password, moderate password, weak password for kids?
Moderate.
Moderate, okay, for the parrots group.
The strongest one.
Okay, the strongest, and finally.
The only thing wrong is because of the numbers you use and the symbols you use.
Yeah.
It's just a little tip for
But
you
normally
to
when you
be
create an
careful.
account, and you put your password, in many of the programs, they say it's strong password, moderate, or.
Yes, because they already have the hardware in order to help you doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
In your cell phones, you have applications to do that. So you have applications where you go and you put the password, and the application is gonna tell you like how strong your password is, so it helps you with that. And finally, please, guys, I want to finish with this. Just be strong with your passwords. Okay, guys, please. Dennis is going to continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
This reminded me when you wanted to create a password in Facebook, they give you numbers and stuff, but sometimes you couldn't get what they wrote because it was like different words, different, I don't know, fonts.
Okay, well, let's move on. Okay, so my part concerns being alert. So are you alert when you're walking on the street?
Yes.
Yes, right? Most of the time, yes. You're not like walking with your cell phone and getting stolen, right? Okay. Sometimes, right? Okay. Well, the same applies to online. Okay, so this is my topic. It's online safety on the go. So don't fall for fake. That has to do with being alert, internet alert. Okay, our learning objectives is learn how to lock your mobile phone, okay, and how to protect your personal info. Learn how to avoid potential harmful downloads. How system updates protect your cell phones, okay, and principally how we can help our students understand the difference between private and public Wi-Fi networks and how to use them safely, right? Okay, so we're going to consider these questions. I mean, how many times do your students use their cell phones during the day? Uncountable, I'd say, right? It's uncountable, right? What are some activities they use in their cell phones? What's up? Yes, right. Okay, so all has to do with social networks, right? Okay, and how would they feel if someone got access to their cell phones? Do they used to share their cell phone? No, right? It's like they pressure, right? Yeah, right. It's really private, right? Okay. Do you think our students take their cell phones or mobile safety seriously? What makes you think that? Why do you say that?
Basic math.
Okay, yes. What you were saying?
I've seen them use their cell phones, they use them carelessly.
Yeah, that's true.
You always listen to these crazy stories, where they have like shared them with you, like,
Yes,
you want to hear that much they say.
that's actually true. Well, why don't we share this video, which has to do with this issue. And here we go.
Very often, we access our email services or social network accounts on the go. On mobile devices, all services that you use are accessible through apps and therefore only one tap away without having to log in every time. That's why it is important to learn how to keep these devices protected. Locking your device helps you in case you leave it behind or if you're worried about someone else scrolling through your phone. Most mobile devices offer options to create a PIN or a pattern. If you prefer a PIN, it's a good idea not to use consecutive series such as 1, 2, 3, 4, or personal information such as your birthday or address. The same principle applies to patterns. Try not to use patterns that are easy to guess like geometric figures. I'll give you the option to hide your pattern when you draw it so that it becomes invisible. It's good to be cautious about the apps, games, and videos and attachments you download because they could harm your devices and put your personal information at risk. Beware of anything that claims that your phone is infected or asks for your password or personal information. You could accidentally download unwanted or potentially harmful applications or give someone you don't trust access to your account. To prevent this, a good rule of thumb is to always download apps from reputable sources, like the official app store on your phone, or to read the reviews and comments from other users and look for potential safety problems with the app. This can help you decide if it's secure to download the content. Once in a while, you might also receive notifications to download system updates on your mobile. It's important to keep all your devices up to date since new versions can help fix security problems identified in previous versions. Finally, always remember to be extra careful whenever you go online using a network you do not know or trust, such as when using free Wi-Fi at a local cafe, because it could be easily intercepted. When on public networks, avoid signing into your accounts or making purchases, since your passwords and financial information could be compromised. Now you know the importance of screen locks, safe downloads, system updates, and Wi-Fi networks. Safety settings are right for you, and set boundaries around how much information you share, when and where while using mobile devices.
So what did you learn from here? Yes, you have to be very careful, okay, with your passwords, with what you're doing, yes, with your downloads, right, okay. And one way to do that is to always check, okay, your device activities and notifications, all right, and you can do that, you can just straight do this if you're gonna follow this slides, okay, on your phone to review this. From time to time, just, this change, okay, in Facebook, in Google, okay, so we have to be updated with this, right, okay, and also see which apps are connected, okay, or which devices you're connected with, okay. It's easy to find if that's actually you who is using that account on your cell phone, okay. If it's an unknown computer that is using your account, so you should be careful and change to a new password, right, okay. And before we're gonna take a look at some of these examples. Can you let me join it? Okay, so what we have to do here is to on how people use this to steal identities, all right? Okay? And prevent identity theft. Okay? How to recognize signs of phishing attempts, okay? By looking at some examples of websites, okay, or emails that you might receive. All right. So our game is don't bite a phishing hook. Yes. And phishing related to phishing, all right? So in this case, catching, getting information, personal, private information. All right. So take a look at this first case, all right? So there is a website which is mail.internet.com, okay? Do you think this is real or fake? What's your opinion? Considering all aspects you see over here, the subject, the person who sent it, does it look real or is it a fake email?
It looks real.
It looks real. What makes you think that? Can you share how you...
Because it has the HTTP, it has everything that
Yes.
email address can have.
Exactly.
Besides that, subject, form, from, etc. So it has very formal,
Yes.
structure.
Yeah, always check that this is HTTPS, all right? So that means it's a secure website. Okay? And you may also look for this ad blocker that should give you safe information, safe source, all right? So what are we working groups, okay? And I want you to spot if these websites or emails come from real people, all right? So this, can we have like 30 seconds? So real or fake? So that,
But this is the most protected one, right?
Okay, well, let's get started with this. So how about the second one? Coco, could you read the website that is on your... What does it say? .com. Okay, so does it look real or is it fake in your opinion? It's fake. So we all agree that this is fake, right? Yes. Okay. So and look at this. This is asking for your email and your password. So you see this one. Okay. The second one, the one about donuts shopping. Does it look like a real trusted source? Yes. Yes. Right. Okay. Then this email. What about this email? Yeah, already. Okay. So what about this one? Do you think it's real?
Yes.
Yes. Here.
The last one, no.
Why? What makes you think this is a fake
You
account?
don't have the password.
Yeah, it doesn't have the padlock. Okay.
They're asking us for the phone number.
Yeah, for your phone number, right? This is something really sensitive. Okay, so that's something to consider, right? Okay. So in conclusion, please. Let's be alert all the time, not only on the street, okay, but also online, okay, and we should also encourage our students to follow these leads, all right? So for more info, you can also, we also get this, okay? You can do this right after this this session or the webinar, okay? And complete this form in order to check comprehension, okay, and feedback on this. All right, you may scan this QR code as well to follow that form online. Yes, yes, it's already over there. Yes. Yes, and these are the resources we use, okay? And kindly book on sex practices or life online, which is really good read, okay? Yes. And as Coco mentioned before, you can also take this course, okay, on digital citizenship and safety course, okay, given by Google, all right? So you can have more resources. And the good thing is that if you take the course, okay, you're gonna receive this recognition badge for taking this course, and you'll be receiving these practices, these activities, lesson plans, okay, to be applied in the classroom, okay? I don't want to share this with you because I really advise you to take this, all right? Good. Well, and remember, the internet is written in pen, not in pencil. Think before you post. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Yes.
Maybe you warm up, maybe going by
Workshop or like something to,
Yeah.
Okay, so continuing with this digital citizenship and safety, well, you can follow this presentation, but we will share it with you in any case, okay? So just a reminder, wants to read. Okay, can you read please?
Okay, now I can.
Oh, sorry.
I included because I don't have my class.
Is it big enough? Okay.
Can be defined as the norms of appropriate, responsible behavior, regardless of the
So we were talking about that, right? In order to become good and responsible digital citizens, students need to practice critical thinking. So we are mixing what we learned in our workshops with this topic, right? First, we'll start answering these questions. Do your students also say that? Yes, right? What do they post? What?
Pictures.
Pictures, songs. They post also like what, how they feel. Like, I can't believe this happened to me, or I'm so happy that it, or I am here with these two other people, right? So they share a lot. What about you? Do you share a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, like selfies and stuff?
No.
Do you think that
Part of 28, yeah.
Do you think that a person that doesn't know you in person can know a little bit about you based on your posts? Or not even a little bit? Right? They can know a lot. They can know about your job. They can know about the things that you like, the music that you like, the things, the places that you go also. And oh, we were talking about that. I wanted to think about this. Okay. These are footprints. What do you think that is? You know what a footprint is? I have a picture to help you. So what do you think it is?
Applications or the things that we use.
The apps that you have?
As you use.
They use, okay? What else?
But people made it from the internet, it's going to stay there forever.
Exactly. Maybe not forever,
Forever.
but yes, forever. So we have two types. Two types of digital footprints. One that is active and one that is passive. Do you have an idea of what the difference between these two?
If like, if you usually use, I'm not using.
Actively would be the posts that you actively do, right? Like the pictures that you post, the comments that you leave. So you are actively putting something online, and it's going to be maybe forever, right? And the passive one, that is the information that you leave in some of these web pages or apps. Right? Sometimes without even knowing, you leave your information, and you agree on it. You put like, yes, agree on the terms and conditions, and you say yes, accept, and next year. And then, I mean, if you read actually that or those terms, it says that we will keep your information in case you decide to leave the app or eliminate it or cancel the subscription or so, right? So we have two types, the active and the passive. Which do you think is more dangerous? The active. The active?
No.
It could be both. Yes, but I mean, the active, you have control over it. So you at least have some type of control over it. And then, what is your online reputation? What is your Does it have to do with your digital footprint? How is it related? How is your active digital footprint related to this or to your passive one?
Well, it's closely related because if you post like bad things, fake news, let's say it's gonna stay there forever, right? I mean, if you want to look for a job that says so, it's not gonna be a good thing that you did that in your past.
Exactly. Basically, this is the result, right? This is the result of your footprint. You post things, you share things, you post pictures and I don't know, and comments. And your online reputation is what people think of you based on that, based on your comments, all the things that you post, and so on. So we will focus on this, okay? How people see you, or how people see other people online. So we have, again, we have it. So it's a profile guessing game. The goals of this game are to identify ways information can be found online about people, decide what you know about someone based on the personal data, and realize not all these inferences accurately represent a person. Right? Sometimes we have this idea of a person, like, oh, that person is so happy, or that person is miserable all the time, or is always sad, or I don't know, or that person knows a lot about something. But in real life, we have, I mean, that person doesn't know that much, or is not always that happy, and so on. But we create this idea of that person. Okay? So to begin, we will read, let's skip those groups. So working on my side for Okay, so then we make two groups. Do you have more?
I'll go with slide, right?
Yes. So you will read these three profiles, three people profiles. So we have Jenny, we have Tyler, and we have Leah. Try to read, don't overanalyze the post, but try to have an idea of what this person is like. Okay? So try to have a short description at the end. You think that Jenny is a happy girl that goes to school and she likes recycle music and so on. Okay? The same as you would do with a real person. You have this profile, try to make a description. Okay? Yeah, judge a little bit.
That's her second. Yeah. How old do you think she is?
More than 25. More than 25. Because now activity, young society. Yes, do you think that it's like maybe she's 20. She's 16.
Oh, and besides, I look at you, best wife is brother.
Yeah.
Oh, my. So here's kind first pose. I guess he sounds like
It doesn't know
Yes.
You ready? Okay, let's start. What do you think about Jenny? This group first. How would you describe her? And the other group, please listen to what this group has to say. Listen, okay, they will share their description about Jenny, right? Oh, Jenny.
Okay, we think she's a teenager. She's very active because she shared on the Facebook what she was. And she's into fashion, so.
Okay, what about you? Jenny.
Okay, so the same, she's a teenager, I think she's kind of gossipy, she likes things with boys, yeah, and then,
Nothing about fashion? Because you think about, and they didn't have anything about.
Maybe because the theory is.
So it's a different, yeah, it's a different perception that they have, both groups. What about Tyler?
He likes science. He likes science. Yes, and maybe some sports.
Okay. What about
And that he likes outdoor activities. He likes outdoor activities because he talks something about baseball. But then at the same time, he's probably something about suicide or parents trying to ruin the kid's life or something like that. But when he talks about go fishing, it is that he's happy. So probably he likes outdoor activities.
Yes, so you have confidence. He doesn't know how to dance. You don't know how to dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Leah?
He likes sports. Animals too.
Animals, teenager.
She's also into technology somehow.
Technology.
She wrote an article for a French website.
Okay, and here? Okay. But now we will see the truth. We will reveal the truth. Okay? So this is the truth about Jenny, who would like to read. Okay.
Jenny is a high school senior. She's going to college this year, a hostess, study business, and eventually start her own fashion line. She cares about more. She cares most about family, volunteering, pop culture, and fashion.
We had similar things, but you didn't know many details. Yes. Minor. Well, you're one person from this group, maybe?
Okay, Tyler is a starting teacher on the high school baseball team. He is 16 and lives in Philadelphia. He has an 8-year-old sister and thinks most about baseball, art, cooking, the guitar, and his friends.
Nobody mentioned the guitar, right? Because it was not there. Art, you couldn't know. Yeah. So you have a general idea, but most of the times doesn't. It's not exactly the same, right? You have like he likes sports. And what about Leah? He's 17. You just joined. Well, maybe with the pictures. It would be easier with pictures. Team and has 2 cats. She's very good at engineering and likes to build robots on weekends. She cares most about technology, her soccer team, animals, and animal rights. So you have a close idea of what she was like, right? So, to summarize, right? It says that our assumptions about people aren't always right, of course. But too often we use these inaccurate conclusions to judge or make decisions about someone. And always try to make sure you really know the things about people that you think you know. Just don't assume that you know a person just by what he or she posts. Right? In this activity, we actually we did some critical thinking. Why? We have these points. Which ones do you think we used or we practiced in this? We analyze the information, verify. You created a description also of the person. Ideas? Yeah, so much. Okay. And discovering patterns, maybe?
Yeah, because what we're thinking about what the things we use.
Yes, like, if you saw maybe animals, and then another mentioning, another post mentioning animals, or sports, or other activities, sequences, so we actually did some critical thinking, but we also learned about online safety and how we ourselves, right, and how people perceive. First one was,
Yes.
okay, thank you, Gabby.
So now we're going to just leave our roles a little bit, and now we're going to be talking about how do others see us. We're going to keep it the same, actually, activity, okay? But now I'm going to assign you a new role, okay? The goal of this activity that we're about to actually be involved with is to understand the perspective of people other than ourselves when we're deciding whether or not to share information online. And on the other hand, to consider the consequences of exposing personal information, what you share becomes part of your reputation, which can be permanent. Remember that Gabby was actually talking about the footprint. So every single day you're still building your online reputation. So that's why we want to actually share these two goals. Okay, now, before you answer these questions, okay, I would like you to actually assume Jenny's profile, okay, you guys, yes, and you guys are going to be Tyler, okay? So now, I would like you to really quick discuss these two questions, please, in your groups, okay? I think that 1 minute is more than enough, okay? On the first hand we have, do you think he or she wants people to know all of his personal info? And on the other hand, how might this information be used by others, okay? So please go back to your groups and discuss this really fast, okay? Yes?
Okay, so I saw this information we actually we post traveling there for so some people know that we're not. How can other people use this information?
Sorry.
And the last one. Okay, let's start with Jenny out there. So, do you think she wants people to know about her personal info?
Yes.
Based on what? Why?
She's posting places she's been, things she's thinking, likes and dislikes.
Okay, and what about the second question that I hear? What about other people?
That could potentially turn into some major damage for her. Because she's placing locations where she's been or where she is and who she's with. So if somebody would want to harm her, this person knows where she is, what she's doing, who she's with.
Okay, so in other words, she's putting herself in danger then. Okay, would you say something different about Tyler that they haven't mentioned before regarding these two questions up here? Okay.
As they said before, it could be dangerous for him in this case to know what.
Okay, and maybe get some
Not only him, also his house or something.
Okay.
People doesn't show that it's happening, but what about if he's going to elevate and he's going to take long time?
You're totally right. So in other words, he's exposing his family too. It's not just about himself. Exactly. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, now guys, let's give a different look to this activity. Now, I'm going to be assigning you guys a new role, okay? You're still going to stay with Jenny and Tyler, but now I want you to be, let's see, you guys are going to be parents for a moment, okay? Yes, and in your case, be a police officer. Okay, and look at my actually prompt up here. It's saying, think about the characters from the point of view of a deeper person and modify privacy choices, okay? I mean, you are parents now. Take a look to Jenny's profile. If there's something that maybe you will actually omit, change a little bit, or maybe actually delete at all, and you guys do the same. From a police officer point of view, what are some modifications that you will actually take into account regarding privacy profile? Okay, so for this activity, then I'm going to give you like 1 minute, and then we're going to be sharing to conclude. Okay?
Normal so like overprotective.
It's up to you. How do you protect yourself? Okay? Yes? Okay, guys, 1 minute, please. Then. Police officers and parents, please. Okay? Next one. I'll check your number.
Yes. That, I know that we reflect. Yes. I guess something will. Yeah. Another thing, right?
Well, actually, thinking about this from a different perspective, this would be good information for police officers in case something happens, like some kind of, you're thinking people are fighting or somebody as a police might need this information in order to see what's going to happen, you know, Yes, maybe pros and cons.
Hey guys, 30 more seconds, okay? Okay, I'm so sorry, but I have to interrupt you now, okay, because we would like to hear from your wonderful ideas, okay? I'm going to start here with Tiger, okay? So, from a police officer point of view, what about the modifications that you will actually work on?
I saw this myself from a different perspective as a police officer, and I would, in case something happens, imagine he disappears, right? And then a police officer might use this valuable information to look for him, to get to know him better, right? Like what his personality is, where he usually goes, you have some kind of a visual picture of this person, right, without even meeting him. So this would be good information for a police officer.
From a police officer point of view, but still, will you warn Tyler about maybe giving information or what is something that you would take away?
The places where he usually goes.
Okay.
Or the plans and things.
Okay.
Maybe that day.
Okay. May seem like a predictable person then. Okay, thank you. What about up here, guys, Jenny?
I'm sorry, I don't like actually to have them to wear their identification. But maybe
Yes.
that she can actually put who can she about their location, right?
Okay.
So that's class, but I just push it back.
Thank you. Okay, something else you would like to add about Mr. Calvary said? Okay, Mary. Anything, something else that you would like to address?
Perhaps sometimes privacy policy, for example, Facebook, it would be good to be informed as a parent.
Okay.
And if our children will teach.
Yeah, to guide your children that is that. Okay, good. And what about you?
Yeah, I think our it's not the age to use the paper. Yeah,
Okay.
we have to stay up.
Okay, still, it's a really good, activity to reflect on responsibility, right? Okay, so guys, presentation then, I would like to have Tabitha, can you please help me out reading?
Yep.
Here?
Different situations call for different responses, and it's always important to respect other people's privacy choices, even if they are choices you yourself.
Okay, so in other words, just to remember that we're not only seeing people, but they are also seeing us, right? And also guys to take care or to be aware of the online reputation that we're building up here. Okay? So to sum up, the last activity, what about some of the critical thinking up here? What would you mention with this last activity up here? Problem solving, why?
Problem solving, okay, because we were talking about, in our case, we have to think about possibilities of why the police officer had to find some kind of problem, the problems that he would face.
Okay.
That he continues posting all information.
Okay, I see. You were saying, Benita?
Yes, she said.
Yes,
She
sorry.
said questioning.
Questioning.
Yes.
Okay.
We were wondering about like,
Why did he post this? Why did she say this about her family and stuff? Yeah, really good. This group up here.
Reflecting and evaluating.
Okay. Evaluating
Because
what?
we were parent shoes, right? We were in time, so that we were thinking about what we can do.
Okay, and this is quite interesting because, well, we're not parents, maybe some of us were already are, but then we're educators, right? And somehow we're in charge of our students, right? So this is what we actually wanted to do with this activity. And before I challenge you with a pledge, this is our actually presentation in case you want actually to scan it. We have the source of the actually course that we took. Dennis already mentioned about it. There you have other sources too that you can actually visit. And what we want you to do is just be smart, alert, strong, kind, and brave. And well, at the end, Rafa, Dennis, Gabby, and I, we actually challenge the teachers from different CAs all over Bolivia to commit themselves, to actually make their students aware of digital citizenship and safety. Okay? So with this, we hope that you can also be part of this, okay? And, well, that will be everything for today.
No,
Thank you so much.
Very nice. We learned about it. Yeah, nice. And we have to share a lot with our students.
Yes.
About that.
Yes, I think the second step now to share, same with our students. Small groups, yeah.
Yes, small groups. Because
Thank you.